Hey, quick video this time because my classes have started, so I'm busy as fuck. Also, this video will have little to no editing. It'll just be one of those generic commentary videos where there's gameplay clips in the background with that Windows Movie Maker fade transition and some guy talking into your ears for like 7 or 8 minutes. It's gonna be like that. But yeah, this is a review of Persona 5 Strikers, the newest iteration in the Persona series. Just as a heads up, this video might contain some spoilers. The reason why I say might is because even though I won't go in depth about the game's story, there might be some footage of the game's maps and characters that could potentially spoil some of the game, so yeah, you've been warned. See how easy that was? Attack on Titan fanbase not spoiling something and consequently not being an asshole is that easy. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, all these clips have been taken from my live stream at twitch.tv/ohheyquestc, and you should follow me there. As your mother, I only want what's good for you, so if I'm telling you to follow me, that's because I think it's a good decision, and you should definitely do it. Go do it now. I'll preface this review by saying that I have not played Persona 5 entirely. I've only played Personas 2, 3, and 4, so if I talk about one of this game's features as if it's something new, but in reality it's something that was already present in regular Persona 5, you can just ignore it. Anyway, I'll just start off by saying that this game is fucking awesome. When I first heard about a hack and slash Persona game, I was kind of afraid that, much like me, it would be, and I quote my parents on this, a complete failure. Now, I'm not even that big of a fan of hack and slash games, but I'm a huge simp for the Persona series. Ever since I bought a pirated copy of Persona 3 at a shady game shop when I was 10, I completely fell in love with the series. Let me just get the easy stuff out of the way and talk about the graphics and the soundtrack. The graphics are slightly different from Persona 5's. You got some more defined outlines and stuff, but other than that, not much has changed. If you like regular Persona 5's graphics, you'll enjoy this as well. I personally prefer the more chibi-ish style that they used to use for Persona 3 and 4, but I still think that this game looks good. As for the soundtrack, do I really need to say anything? I mean, if for whatever reason you never listened to a Persona soundtrack, just do yourself a favor and listen to it. It is undoubtedly one of the game franchises with the best soundtrack of all time. Although I do have to say that this game's soundtrack is a bit less memorable than its predecessors, but that doesn't mean it's bad though, it is still very good. Now let's talk about the gameplay. Since this is a hack and slash game, it's really important to have good gameplay, and boy does it have some cool fucking gameplay. Like I said before, I'm not a huge fan of hack and slash games, but goddamn does it feel good to play this game. The combat is fluid and high tempo, and it doesn't really get tiring, even after 40 hours of gameplay. I thought it was going to be weird to use personas in a hack and slash game, but it turns out that their usage was really well incorporated into the game. You can use them in two ways. You can hold down the right bumper, where you can select which skill and what persona to use, or by doing combos, in which case you can use one of the predefined skills from whatever persona you have equipped. For example, in this clip, by pressing XXXY with Queen Mab equipped, you can cast Mabufula instantly. This mechanic really helps a lot when you want to break an opponent's defense quickly and without consuming any SP, since skills cast in this way don't cost SP. Speaking of breaking an opponent's defense, we still get the same weakness mechanic that you get in past iterations of the franchise. Using a skill that an enemy is weak to will break his defense and leave him open to all-out attacks, although stronger enemies have stronger defenses and therefore need to get hit more times than weaker foes. Also, just look at how fucking cool the all-out attack animation on bosses is. By the way, this game has a lot of combat mechanics. It's not just pressing X and Y over and over again. You have a lot of ways to deal with enemies in this game. You can interact with the scenario by dropping things on the enemies, spinning around lampposts, blowing out weirdly conveniently placed cars. You can even fucking ski and skateboard their asses. Other than that, one of the combat mechanics that really makes this game so dynamic is the character switching. By pressing the arrows on the D-pad, you can switch to different characters mid-combat and get access to their own melee combos and persona skills. If you switch at the right time, you can connect your combos directly with another party member's attack, be it a skill or just a regular attack. All of these methods allow you to break an opponent's defense more easily, and it also makes the combat more fun. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this, but this game has guns. They're not like the guns in Persona 3 where you shoot yourself in the head to summon a huge green uncircumcised dick in a wheelchair. They're actually important when it comes to fighting, since there are shadows that are weak to guns. And if you're playing as Joker, the main character, you can also use guns to link combos in between each other. Just one final thing about combat, the showtime gauge. It's this thing right here, which you fill up by doing MOG 360 no-scope gamer shit while in combat, and once it fills up you can do this pro gamer move, which is essentially an ulti, where each character has their own animation, and needless to say, the animations are, once again, fucking great. Now that I've talked a bunch about combat, let's talk a bit about exploration. Much of the exploration mechanics from Persona 5 persist in Persona 5 Strikers. You still have the opportunity to hide around corners and ambush enemies, but this game is a lot more parkour-y. Is that a word? This game is a lot more parkour-y than Persona 5. There is a lot of dashing around, jumping onto beams, metal claws. It's just a whole bunch of shit that you can parkour into and ambush enemies from. Although, if I'm being honest, some specific parts from some maps felt a little too repetitive with all the parkouring. More specifically, one of the last jails in the game, that's what they call the dungeons, they call them jails, has a part where the only option you have for traversing the map is by repeatedly climbing up the same structure every time you need to go forward or return, so it can get a little tiring, but other than that, the exploration aspect of this game is very similar to Persona 5's. You can head to the city, go around, shop for supplies, talk to your friends, you know, etc, etc. And I guess that about does it. I said it was going to be a quick video, and I also said that I won't go in depth about the story, but I'll also say that I liked it a lot. But then again, that is pretty much a given when it comes to the Persona series. It's the most attractive and famous aspect of the franchise, really. Actually, one other thing about the story that surprised me is that even though I haven't played Persona 5 entirely, this game's story didn't spoil it for me at all. The dialogues rarely make references to the previous game's story, and when they do it in a very subtle way, giving you no spoilers at all, so that was nice. Other than that, I guess the only thing that kind of bummed me out a little bit was the fact that you don't have social links in this game. So there's no friendship events, no romancing, nothing of the sort. Although, I guess that makes sense. Since this game takes place after Persona 5, it would be weird to, for example, have romance Makoto in Persona 5 and then not have any sort of dialogue referencing that in this game, but that's just me being nitpicky. So yeah, that was my review of Persona 5 Strikers. Initially I was going to post an entire playthrough of this game on my channel, but then I realized that there would probably be like 120 videos or something, because this game is like 45-50 hours long. And so instead I just decided to post this review, and I played the game in its entirety on my Twitch channel. But yeah, if I were to judge this game on the shittiness scale, 0 to 10, 0 being like Skyrim or Sly Cooper 3, and 10 being Anthem, super shitty, 7 being like The Last of Us 2, this game would definitely get like a 0.5 or something, almost a 0. This game is fucking awesome. I loved it. It's absolutely great. Everything about it is good. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.